Yo, what is going on YouTube? What's going on, everybody, man? Welcome back to the channel. How are you guys doing out there today? So we're back here with some more Neil Young and Crazy Horse. All right, we're going to be checking out a song called Crime in the City Live. This is a donation request via Buy Me a Coffee, so thank you so much for the support in that way. Really appreciate that, man. Let's go ahead and read off the request. It says, Neil Young saw him live in Columbia, Maryland on this tour, 1989 or so. Did the song with just acoustic and harmonica. Awesome as usual. But here he goes, electric, and I love this version even more. In fact, Weld is a real distorted, crazy feedback, heavy rocker of an album. The name of the song is Crime in the City. Awesome lyrics and message. Hope you enjoy it. Excited to jump into this one. Hopefully the lyrics are easy to decipher. That's not always the case with Neil Young songs. Sometimes I have to kind of look at it afterwards. But we're going to go ahead and get into this one. Neil Young, man, is really one of those phenomenal artists that I have on the channel. You know, maybe not the most technical, as people notice about his guitar playing, but to me, technicality doesn't really beat out emotion. All right, I got to feel what you're doing, and I don't care if you play the world's best guitar. If I don't feel it, then it doesn't speak to me on a personal level, and sometimes the simple stuff does, right? So I'm excited to check this one out with Neil Young, man. See what he's dishing out right here on this one with Crime in the City Live, and with the Crazy Horse rocking with him, man. So let me see. All right, so I have the lyrics ready to go if I need them. I'll probably tab over to them if it ends up being hard to understand. That way I don't miss out on the lyrical content as well. But let's go ahead and get this started, and maybe I won't need them. Here we go. Good riff.
Well, that cop made a showdown. He was sure he was right. He had all of the lowdown from the bank heist last night. His best friend was a robber, and his wife was a thief. All their children were killers. They couldn't get no relief. The bungalow was surrounded when a voice loud and clear said, "Come on out with your hands up, or we'll blow you out of here." There was a face in the window. TV cameras roll. Then they cut to the announcer. The story was told. Crime in the city, said the cop on a beat. I don't know if I could stop it. I feel like meat on the street. They paint my car like a target. I take my orders from fools. Meanwhile, some punk blows my head off. Well, I play by the rules. That's why I'm doing it my way. I took the law in my own hands. Here I am in the alleyway. Water cash in my pants. I got paid by a 10-year-old. He says he looks up to me. There's still crime in the city, but it's good to be free.
Yeah, it's talking about criminals, man. Somebody else looking up to more criminals, right, to become one.
could see him. I wish I knew where he was. That's the way all my friends are, except maybe one or two. Wish I could see him this weekend. Wish I could walk in his shoes, but now I'm doing my own thing.
He's painting a picture for you.
Sometimes I'm good, then I'm bad. Although my home has been broken, it's the best home I ever had.
It's the only one. Right back in there.
Well, I keep getting younger. My life's been funny that way. Before I ever learned to talk, I forgot what to say. Says back to my mama. Says back to my teacher. Got thrown out of Bible school for giving a finger to the preacher.
Ooh.
And I grew up to be a fireman. Put out every fire in town. Put out anything smoking. But when I put the hose down, the judge sent me to prison. He gave me life without parole. Wish I never put the hose down. Wish I never got old.
Interesting last part.
Wish I never got old. Oh.
Oh, dude. Good subject. Good subject. Good topic. Yeah, man, these guys can rock out, man. Neil Young and Crazy Horse. These guys rock out every time. They bring it, man. There was that part where Neil's, I assume, is playing lead, and that chugging rhythm behind him. Like, dang, man, that thing is just nice. You were right, man. Good lyrics, good message, man. Something that some of us can relate to, right? When you grow up without a hero, when you grow up without a role model, your role models become the bad people because normally when you're in a poor side of town, there's a lot of shady business going on, drug dealing, wannabe gangsters, right? Even abuse, all this stuff, man. And your role models become really crappy people when you're in a situation like that. And that's why when we talk about like how can we turn society around, you got to start with the kids. You got to give the kids good role models, man, because there's so many kids without fathers and broken homes that don't have good role models. So when you go outside, house A, B, C, D, E, F, go down the street, everybody's got crappy people, usually in crappy sides of towns, like where I grew up, man. So my role models at a young age were not good role models. They weren't good people. And fortunately, I didn't wind up just another one in the cycle, man. I was able to find a better way for myself later on in life. But don't get me wrong, at the start, man, I was looking up to the wrong people. And that's kind of what he's saying here is that, you know, you have that 10-year-old in the alley kind of looking up and it being inspired by this criminal activity by these criminals, right? And that really is what happens, man. And he's just saying how it's a cycle that keeps going. You even have that one family where the kids are the killers, right? The mom and dad are out thieving and robbing, just bad people. But it happens like that, man. You get a cycle of bad teaching others how to be bad. The part I didn't quite understand was at the end when we talk about using the fire hose. When he put down the fire hose, he ended up getting life, right? He was a firefighter. I'm definitely looking at that more like a metaphor, maybe the hose being his gun. The fires he's putting out, maybe that's how he's viewed it in his head, was that he's some kind of a savior, right? But in reality, maybe he's going up doing heists, robbing people at gunpoint. That hose is the gun. And as soon as he tried to turn his life around, he put that hose down. Or maybe there was a standoff with the cops and he puts the hose down, the gun down, he got locked up, right? Maybe he shouldn't have ever put that hose down. Maybe he should have fought to the death. But let's see. Look at this, man. Neil Young was not playing around on this song. I mean, look at the lyrics right here, guys. A blanket of a song, and I love that, man. He went deep on storytelling with this one, and I always appreciate that. So let's look at this ending part right here. He says, well, I keep getting younger. My life's been funny that way. Before I ever learned to talk, I forgot what to say. Almost like, to me, he didn't ever have thoughts of his own, right? Everything that, all the actions that he did were implanted there. So before he learned to talk, he forgot what to say. You know what tells you what to say? Your mind, right? He didn't have a mind to function the way and built his own character. I sass back to my mom. I sass back to my teacher. I got thrown out of Bible school for sassing back at the preacher, but he said throwing a finger at the preacher, right? Then I grew up to be a fireman, put out every fire in town, put out anything smoking. But when I put the hose down, the judge sent me to prison. He gave me life without parole. Wish I never put the hose down. Wish I never got old. So that's the only way I can really take that ending part, is more as a metaphor. Like I said, the hose being the gun, and him being living a criminal life because he didn't sound like too good of a kid growing up, right? So you guys let me know, man. You guys let me know what y'all thought about that last section there. All right, let's take a little bit of a look at this one, man. So we've got right here, this song released in 1989. The length of the album recording is 8 minutes 45 seconds. So I think actually longer than what we just heard, no? Yeah, what we heard was 6 minutes 32 seconds. It says the album's is 8 minutes 45 seconds. So Crime in the City is a song written by Neil Young that was first released on his 1989 album Freedom. Although Young had performed longer versions in concert earlier, it was not released as a single, but reached number 34 on the Billboard magazine chart, all right? It is a lengthy song with a released version of almost 9 minutes, but earlier versions were more than twice as long. Oh my God. It has been characterized as a document of moral rot in urban regions of the United States. Yeah, pretty much, man. Lyrics and music. Crime in the City was written on a sailboat in 1988 on the same day Young wrote Ordinary People and Days That Used to Be. It is a lengthy song. Man, this song has a lot of lyrics in it, but he wrote 3 songs in the same day that he wrote this one. Jeez. 3 songs in total. It is a lengthy song whose release version has 5 verses and is almost 9 minutes long. Earlier versions of the song, entitled 60 to 0, which Young performed in concert with the Blue Notes in 1988, were even longer, going as long as 11 verses and 20 minutes. Young would play both acoustic and electric versions of the earlier versions, though the final release version was heavily acoustic. So with this one, it sounds like we probably didn't get the whole song. I don't know if he sang all the verses that I showed you guys there. So I don't know. This was the version that was definitely requested, though, so I'm going to do the one that's requested with the donation request. Definitely, I think this is an individual's favorite version of this, so that's right on, man. Really cool stuff. According to David Downing, the lyrics describe selfishness, stupidity, and senseless violence, of course, man, illustrating society's lost and found in the late Reagan administration America of the 80s. Rolling Stone contributor Andy Green describes it as a fantastic screed about people slowly losing their minds in a wild city, man. The editors of Rolling Stone described it as a companion to the bookend song on Freedom, Rocking in the Free World. So he's saying, like, these 2 songs are bookends, man. You've got one at one end, the other at the other end, stating that it surveys 80s moral rots, okay? All right, so let's read about the 5th verse. It says, in the 5th verse, Young sings that I keep getting younger. My life's been funny that way, which Williams sees as a play on the lyrics from Bob Dylan's My Back Pages, which I totally made that connection in my head too. Bob was the first I heard mention something like that. I've heard as well Eric Burden come out with his own twist on those lyrics, and now we've got Young also kind of making a twist on those lyrics. But like I said, I attribute it to contribute those versions to Bob Dylan, right? That's the first time I've heard somebody use the I keep getting younger or the young old mixtures was My Back Pages, in which Bob Dylan sings, I was much older then, I'm younger than that now. I love that line. Rogan notes that despite the line, wish I never got old, nonetheless ends the song on a wistful note. But in the beginning, Young described a former fireman who, when growing up, sassed authority figures such as his parents, teachers, and preachers, and now is serving a life prison in sentence for an unspecified crime. Balin suggests that, as with the previous verses, the fireman's predicament is a result of growing up in the city. Okay, so they're taking it as a literal fireman who got locked up for an unspecified crime. I'm taking it more the way I gave you guys. So you guys let me know what you think of it. That final verses, that was the most interesting one to me because it really made you think about what he was trying to get across with that one, man. So thank you so much for this donation request, man. I really hope you enjoyed the reaction. Definitely enjoyed listening to this version. So thank you for linking this one to me so much, man. If you guys enjoyed rocking with me here today, please let me know by liking, subscribing, checking out the descriptions down below, and let me know what else you'd like me to react to from Neil Young. I know there's still quite a bit to get around to, man. So thank you guys for being here today. All right. If you guys enjoyed, please don't forget to look at how you can become a member here on my YouTube, my Patreon, or donation request if you so choose. And with that being said, I'm gone. I'll see you on the next one, man. Peace.